Yeah, me, I'm just waiting for the stream to pick up. Yeah, oh, there you go. So day 35, session 3. The toggle delete. The toggle delete. If it's deleting, we need to delete the deleting record. So this is the delete DAO. It looks like this is a method for the DAO, and this is another method. So let's get more methods, maybe without export for now. So let's put them down here. Const delete by user ID. User ID spelled like that. Async, and I pass user ID as a string, and maybe we just return a promise void. I don't think I care too much about the return status. Maybe I should go back and fix that. And the stupid error that the stupid errors that TypeScript requires. This is a colon. Yeah, okay. That's silly syntax. Okay, so there is a completion for by the AI. Let's accept it and review it. Deleting, deleting. Oh God. Deleting. Ah, by God. Maybe the name choice not the greatest, isn't it? Anyway, that is it. It deletes the deleting record. Removing. Yeah, so the delete, deleting record. Okay, so they just delete the record. So that is the one. And we don't need the command anymore once we add this because it's pretty obvious. We just need to pass the user ID. That bit is done. Beautiful. Now, the create the record is a little more complicated because all these timestamp calculations. And I don't remember very well how timestamps in Firebase are handled because there is a special type. I could just save the seconds for sure, but I think I handled them before. We need to check some of the DAO, maybe interested DAO, and check out the timestamp handle. There is one where we just do this field value server timestamp. So that's the current time. And but what type does it get? Field value. What does it mean, field value? Return a sentinel. To include so basically that means this is just an instruction for the server to return the timestamp. But on the client, you don't know what the timestamp is. It's not generated on the client, it's generated on the server. Which is okay, but in this case, I always use that. In this case, I need to generate the timestamp on the server or on the client because I need to do some arithmetic on it. So let's write at least the function name there. So here you go. Toggle delete is there. So we have to create the deleting record. Const create by user ID. It's a new record. I think we also accept the user ID for sure. It's a string. And we can go promise void for now, but probably we want to return those timestamp values. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know if we trigger a new load or not. But basically, we can just add one log information that says create. I know it should be deleting and creating, but then it's too confusing. Okay, right. We can start with that, where it sets that's to. I don't need to say set the is deleting field because that is just set if the data is there, we set it to true. So it's not explicitly set. So I start to call it, await, create by user ID, user ID. Excellent. Excellent. So now we need to compute the minimum timestamp second. Well, if we call it that way, then it's really seconds, it's a number. But here I call it min delete timestamp, thinking that it would be a timestamp, but then I would have to do dot seconds. Am I okay? Hmm. I need to find out more about the timestamp data type in Firebase because otherwise I'm just in the dark. So I spent £5 so far on Google 520. I know 512 after the discount. No, 518, whatever. But now not spending any more because I went the Spark plan. So I don't need to check this anymore. I'm on a free key. So if and I deleted the key was costing money. So now in the worst case scenario, I would be blocked, but not billed, which is good. So far today I use it very, very little. I did a couple of queries which counted as 8 requests because there's 8% of 100 requests. The reason why 2 queries counted as 8 requests is because every step counts as a separate request. But doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. And I can also use Cascade, the SWE1 frame model. Okay, so no problem. Now, and also for quick queries, you can also use Claude for free. Yeah. And in fact, that's what I'm going to do. So right now, I want to understand anymore about a little bit more about um, FireStore timestamps. Can you explain me about FireStore timestamps um, in TypeScript? Okay, that's my language now. And in particular, we saw, okay, I know that a way to get the server timestamp is using this. However, now I have to compute the current timestamp and add 5 days to it. And also I have to, and let's give the actual names. To compute and assign it to Firebase FireStore field, mean this timestamp, and also I have to. Okay, so the other one is maybe I'm asking too much, but the other one is the schedule function is here in the handler. And this is the one that is scheduled every day. Right, and I schedule 8:35, but I schedule back at 8:30. And also I have to compute a second timestamp called this is good. I don't need this anymore. The second timestamp is called schedule timestamp. So it won't be timestamp seconds if it's a timestamp field called schedule timestamp, which is after mean delete timestamp, the first opportunity, the first day, first opportunity after mean delete timestamp, when the time is 8:30 a.m. in Bangkok. That sounds really hard. Thank you, Claude. It's complicated stuff. Okay, let's not just copy the code, but learn all the theory. This is a learning opportunity. No copy my homework kind of things or copy someone else's homework stuff. Is a opportunity to learn quickly and focus. I will explain FireStore timestamp in TypeScript and help you implement those specific timestamp calculation. FireStore has own timestamp class. So maybe I want to declare that type. They represent a point in time independent of time zones. Here is how to work with them. So it's open this timestamp, server timestamp, what you already know. Created a timestamp with from a JavaScript date. So cool, man, so cool. It's so cool. So there, Firebase FireStore, not importing anything here. That's interesting. But I will. So let's import only the timestamp type from there now. We don't need field value. So there when we're creating the record, we get now the timestamp from JavaScript date, converting back to JavaScript date, creating from milliseconds. Okay, Your specific requirement. Here is how to implement your two timestamp calculation. Key points to remember. Always use timestamp from data. Why did you show me the other one? So I want to leave that here, and I want to ask, is JavaScript date object time zone aware? I don't know that even. I asked that to Copilot. Why not? Yes, JavaScript data object is time zone aware, but with some caveats. Internally is UTC based. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So, okay. Internally is UTC based. That's pretty interesting. Um, we read all this, what it is. Then we'll read this on the right, which is probably the most interesting part. But before we get to that, let's keep on reading. Key points to remember. Always use timestamp from date when storing data in FireStore to ensure proper serialization. Time zone handling. Bangkok is UTC +7, well, yes. So when calculating 8:30 Bangkok time, ooh, I got a mosquito, yeah. No, I didn't catch it. Mm. What was that? When calculating 8:30 Bangkok time, let's turn on the fan. 8:30 Bangkok time, you need to account for this offset. So another thing that I'm pretty sure they don't have is time, how do you say, daylight saving. In Thailand, there isn't, yeah, because the day is always the same no matter what time of the year in Thailand. Daylight saving time? I don't know, it's calling daylight saving time? Daylight, one word. Okay, I was almost there. Uh, isn't it? I'm pretty sure, but I just want to see. Yeah, UTC +7. Okay, that makes it easier. Makes it simpler for scheduling and programming. Yeah. Yeah, such complicated stuff at the time. A library like Luxon, data, moment, time zone. Okay. For now, we don't need it. Let's see. Time zone handling. Okay. Date arithmetic. Adding dates is straightforward. Okay. 5 days, 24 hours, 60 minutes, 60 seconds, 100 milliseconds. Alternative with date FNS. If you prefer a library, was this the same library suggested here or no? Or one of them? Yep, one of them. Don't know that library, and probably I should know. FNS. Finesse? Finesse, it sounds like. Modern JavaScript. Ooh, the website is awful. Well, that is coming from 1992 website. What the fuck? Format relatively, and then some testimonials, some horrible logos of all different shapes. Terrible. Okay. I shouldn't say that from a free library. Okay, if you can use a library, you can do that. Yeah, you have some nice functions. Not reading too much, but not reading the code now because I want to read on the right. Get next 8:30 a.m. Bangkok bus. Edge cases better. What edge cases? I don't know. What do I know? Oh, so imports timestamp. We have something called calculate timestamp. Calculate timestamps. Okay, so it's very specific. And it goes these two. The mean timestamp is there. Yeah, that looks great. So let's add this function to calculate the timestamp. But I don't know if I really need a function to calculate the timestamp. It's maybe better to have two functions. So one is calculate mean delete timestamp. Yeah, lowercase here. Current time plus 5 days. And we return only that one. No parentheses, much simpler function. Excellent. No, JavaScript. Semicolon insertion done wrong. Okay, so we have calculate, compute, calc, mean delete timestamp. That's there is. Then if I add the 5 days, in millisecond doesn't matter. Not 5 days. We don't need an additional step here. We can just return. We can clarify the output type as a timestamp. Excellent. I already wrote here how many times I had to write the same comment. Okay. That's one. So in theory, the scheduled timestamp should be based on the mean timestamp, but I can get the new date again because the chances of being like happening a millisecond before 8:30, a millisecond 8:30 are minimal. In the worst case scenario, guess one more day. Who cares? So what I'm gonna do is do function another. Maybe I also don't like the functions written like that. We wrote them normally as const timestamp like that. Okay, equivalent arrow function. Yeah, there you go. So that's the one. Mean timestamp, pretty simple. And then it's a little bit tricky because it's relying on the schedule timestamp in the schedule function to not be altered. Date 30. Maybe add a comment that's really flaky, yeah? Deleting now is assuming schedule every day at 8:30 Bangkok time, so don't change it. Hopefully this comment will help. Now we need another little function called const. Move this better in the screen. No, no, called calculate mean delete. No, no, calculate scheduled time stamp, which is a function takes no input and gets a timestamp. If I want, I could get as an input the mean delete timestamp. But what I figure out, it doesn't really matter. There is really a very nearly impossible to have an edge case when it's around 8:30 minus a few milliseconds, and the next one is just after. And in that case, we go one day after. Okay. Yeah, I guess the mean delete date. Yeah. So we have to compute the mean delete date twice. Um, or we can get the date from the timestamp. There is to accept the mean delete timestamp here. And after I said it's fine, I don't need it. I'm thinking to do that just to avoid the duplicate calculation. The alternative is to factor this out in a function. But I think will avoid also the super rare edge case. So if I pass the mean delete edge case, the mean delete timestamp, obviously this means that we'll have to create a variable called mean delete timestamp and calculate it here. We use here mean delete timestamp and do that so that here I can say calculate schedule timestamp and pass this frisky mean delete timestamp. Excellent. So right now we know that we can get a JavaScript data. That's what I need from a timestamp in that way. So the mean delete timestamp is where we start from, and mean delete date. We go back to that. It's that. So that was the 8:30 Bangkok. It gets the date. After date. Let's see what is this after date. The mean delete date. Okay. Bangkok offset minute. So you don't need to say 7 hour in minutes if you just say Bangkok offset minute. Okay, so you can just improve the variable name, Bangkok offset minute, and delete the stupid comment. Okay. Then convert the after date to Bangkok time. You need that? Let's copy the comment too. And we'll have to rename this the min delete date to Bangkok time. Bangkok offset minute. Well, if it was minute, I become seconds and milliseconds. Should I have done Bangkok offset milliseconds then? So remove the oh, and it becomes a date. Do we need the bank of offset minute anytime or bank of offset anytime anymore? Yes. But every single time it does by 60 by 100. So why didn't you do it before? It's smarter to say under a bank of offset millisecond. And that's MSC, I found out it's not a good abbreviation because it's microsecond would be the same. So a better abbreviation is millis. So millis, this is was in minute, and then we multiply by 60 seconds and millisecond. Now it's in milliseconds. So, so now we don't need to do that stupid thing again. Okay. Convert to the Bangkok time. Okay. Yeah, stop. Don't suggest anything. We got this. Create a date. Uh-huh. So there is created a UTC date, like if it was in Bangkok time. So it's a bear. Mm. So let's create a candidate date on the same day, 8:30, because we could be before 8:30. In that case, 8:30 of the same day is the earliest date available, but it could be one day later. Create a date for 8:30 on the same day in Bangkok. Okay, that's pretty hard stuff. And then, yeah. So I would say we need only half of this comment. If 8:30 on the same date is before our target time, move to the next day. If 8:30, so basically you already said 8:30 on the same day. If candidate, let's call it candidate date, is before our target time, move to the next date. Perfect. Excellent. Get date plus one. But then we have to send the 8:30, isn't it? That date get plus one. I think that's wrong. That's not the robust one. Still have to look at the robust one. Wouldn't this code not forget about 8:30 and just set it to whenever on the next day. This is a bug in my code. The issue of the day, no resetting the time back to 8:30. Good catch. The original code would move to the next day, but kept whatever time was already on the candidate date, instead of ensuring it's 8:30 a.m. on the next day. Additionally, let me provide an even cleaner approach that's less prone to this kind of errors. Thanks for catching that. The corrected version now properly ensures that we move the day to the next day when especially setting the time to 8:30. This kind of bug is exactly why the robust function uses a different approach. Okay. So now I have so much code. I don't understand anymore. I have so much code and I don't understand how it works. Because I click here version 2, version 3. Where are those? Ah! I don't understand. So it's changing something there? Yeah, it's like guess 8:30 Bangkok time after the giving the avoids the bug. For more robust time zone handling, there are too many versions. Which one should I pick, man? You overwhelm me. Can find bugs. Oh, ecco qua. Okay. So, uh, please answer again with just one version of the code, the most robust and best implementation. Not so many. I am overwhelmed. I don't even know how to spell overwhelmed. Oh, overwhelmed and almost, and almost crying. Okay, pick one for me, mate. Okay, so let's copy this and then we'll work with that. So this is called get next 30 a.m. Bangkok. Calculate schedule can stamp old. We're not using that, but we're using this calculate timestamp. Okay, so check this out. After our target. Isn't it that well you have to go in a loop? You can go +5 and so the only thing I need to do is to use mean delete timestamp, which is a time stamp, and what is it called? After date. Let's call it after date for now. I don't like the name, but I will rename. After date is from mean delete timestamp to date. So we bridged it. So let's delete that so we're not confused. And let's work with this. Why does he put the date inside another date? Check date. Because date is mutable. Is date in JavaScript mutable? But because we constructed, then we don't need check date anymore. Yeah, that's why it's doing that, because date is mutable. But because I already done that, if I built a new, I don't need to care about mutating that. I know mutating timestamp. Is FireStore TypeScript timestamp object mutable? Please tell me no. Anyway, I'm not mutating it, but I just want to know. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because it's it's another time, another generation. There was no sensibility about this before. That's understandable. JavaScript is an old language. What's going on with this? So they are called check date. Mm. But it's also using after date. So maybe we need that. We need to keep that. That's why. Mm-mm. But I don't want to like it to call it check date after date. I want to rename it to call it okay. Mean delete date. That way it makes much more sense to me. Mean delete timestamp and we have mean delete date. Okay. So here's a so-called check date. Wait a second. Uh, this eventually returns. Or in theory, it could be an infinite loop, but that shouldn't happen. Mm. And he removes the offset. Okay. So we have that, and it's already plugged in. And I think, yeah, we have it. Yeah, that's pretty hard. I mean, but it's done. I go to get the drink. So now we got all the timestamps, but we have to be careful when converting them back. It would be good also to let me get the drink first. We also to make be sure that we understand what comes back from. Now we think it's confused where it comes back from Firestore. I okay. Enough ice. Yeah. There you have it. So that is the problem. So now we are pumping in the data, the main delete timestamp as a timestamp, the schedule timestamp as a or schedule timestamp as a timestamp. That looks pretty good. Let's close the door. That's enough. No, it's not shut, but it's close enough. Um, the problem is here. That is not the timestamp second because here is this is shown as any, but in reality, what's the deal with null and undefined? Fucking hell, JavaScript. It's undefined. It's even worse than I had. Null undefined. What the heck is that? Explain me that. Why does JavaScript? I understand what's different. Undefined is not even assigned, and null is assigned to null, but what the heck? Have both null and undefined, and what else? It's confusing as hell. They both represent the sense of a value. Uh, Yeah, so I probably should set it to null, but well, however, if that's the case, why can't you assign something to undefined? It doesn't make sense since obviously you touch it. So like, yeah, if we want to be, that's better to put enough. Okay, fine. Got it. If we want to be picky. If we don't want to be picky, it doesn't matter. So, um, in this case, it's all good. And also we have a type. However, data does not have a type. It's basically document data with null, undefined, whatever. But we know that those are timestamp. So one way to do it is I can say as timestamp. That would not work. And that's great because now it shows the problem here. But I think I can have seconds. That didn't work as expected. Just that it's a property. And that should work. And I think I used that before. I think that's good enough. It's a bit manual, but it's kind of good enough. But we can ask the AI, maybe Claude, if there is any way to improve this code. When we say we are just retrieving the actual records that we are retrieving, well, is just these two values. And we're setting 3, but user ID is also the key. Okay, that's why we know. Let's just clone. I don't know if I will implement this change, but just to start to have awareness about it. Let's give in this function, and I say I know that mean delete timestamp and schedule timestamp in the FireStore documents are of type FireStore timestamp, and I set them as such with as with as. This works, but it feels a little bit manual. Is this a good approach? Or are there better ways to handle the situation? Let's see. Works, but isn't the most about type guards. And even worse because it's like, yeah, that's what I thought it would be. Interface. It's a little bit too complex, so I guess we'll get into, especially with the types more complex than that. To Firestore, it's like a little class. It has two Firestore. What? That wouldn't help to convert the types. Yeah, I don't know. I'm happy with this. Right, so let's evaluate the current situation. We got this toggle timestamp, which should now have kind of work. So we start to call it. Funny enough, the two buttons we have here, we have to call exactly the same function. We can't call a DAO function. We have to call toggle delete, but it's already calling that. Okay. Toggle delete. Okay, so let's call, do we have a branch already? No. Let's get a branch called toggle delete. Beautiful. Let's see how much should I change already. Let's commit what we got so far. Let's create even a PR and have a look. There you go. Toggle delete backend function plus toggle delete. Let's say toggle delete functionality because that will be also include the front end part. So let's make this PR useful and nice. Okay. And then we'll put it back to 830, put the 835 before for a test. Beautiful. So let's also make sure that CI works. We'll check back on it. Now, let's close everything except this code toggle delete. Close others. Okay. And I have a little file for the front end, which is called API, which is the one that is in charge of calling everything else. This is the last function. And window export, const, call, toggle. Ooh, equal async. Let's start to create something that is syntactically correct. I toggle delete, yeah, delete user, toggle deleting. Okay, that works. That's beautiful. There is still this little thing that I have to check. Where was that? In the build. There is a warning or something. Yeah, which makes total sense because I don't have a FireStore API key in GitHub. But I don't know why it's even calling Firebase, not FireStore, Firebase. Why? There's something to. I don't need to check now, but because I want to go on, but I have a ticket for it. I want to go on with this. So great. So the toggle delete function will have a try catch like every single thing here, every single um, function, HTTP function can fail. Okay, try catch. And in case of error, we normalize the exception. We've done this function already, we keep on using it. That's great. Now, call toggle delete, we'll have to accept a parameter, which is the same. It's coming here in, oh, come on, all this pop-up thing, I can't even look at the code. Is the one that comes here, the user ID. So we need to accept the user ID. User ID is a string. Okay, please give me that. If I have that, I can do that. Yep. Let's go to create. That looks good. Yeah. Let's go to create. We don't return anything yet, but I can do easily. Yeah, that is always the same. But let's create this toggle delete URI that works both locally and remotely. Const toggle delete URI there. Okay, we got one string. Otherwise, we get another string. That's fantastic. So what I'm gonna do is deploy so we get this URL. Go here, kill it, die, npm run deploy. Take it easy, take some time. We're gonna wait. And 1 hour. Oh, so what was that? First, this index 1.2 megabyte, because the issue of this code base is that it's building a single function with all the functions. So it's deploying all the code for all the functions, and then I have a different entry point for each function. That's how I understand it. Which works, but it's not ideal. It's like we would need to create many separate builds, maybe to complicate it. But here there is another error. The dynamic require when I do np. Okay, let's ask. We have plenty of queries on Gemini, so let's use them. And that's unexpected. I'm happy I did the deploy because we need to catch this error as soon as possible. Errors. So in here, yeah, we were having a nice conversation with Gemini. I think there's this command called clear, but I don't trust it 100%. Oh, fuck. 100% because before it seems you refer to things that happen before the clear in a response. So I don't know what's going on. So I prefer to restart it fresh. Oh, I just updated yesterday. There is already a new version. Amazing. So as careful doing slash quit and not quit, otherwise we use another query. There's this thing called NCU, which is checking the what can be upgraded. This is in the local one. Mhm. Okay, maybe we can do. That's not what I really wanted to do. I wanted to check the global ones. So let's forget about this. What if I do NCUFNG? Would it work on global? Yes, it does. Yep. That's probably the same thing I was telling. So I'm updating the Gemini CLI. That's CLI. That's great. Okay. Then these things are um, maybe you can also give a look to those. Are in the global packages. So it should be here. And I can start to say there's something with 702 can be 704. So this is already upgraded to 704 because of the carry. Maybe I shouldn't use carries because it makes sense of the build. Let's debate these two. Should I avoid carry in package? Jason, my understanding is that it makes the build unreliable, potentially unreliable, but maybe not because of package lock. And new depths come only with npm install. Please clarify. Yeah, let's see. Let's dig a little deep. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah. Well, let's configure. Hmm. Ah, that's what npm CI does. Interesting. But anything else should do the same. Right, but on local builds, when packages with Care are updated, if there is a committed package. Look, my understanding is that they wouldn't be updated, would not be updated when running a clean build or similar. npm update. Does npm update changes package JSON to reflect the new versions? Mm. Okay, so we can do that. I don't even know in which folder I am. That's bad. Ooh, it's slow. 437 packages. And we are losing focus because what was the goal? This error. No, not this error. It was something else. It was this error. Deployment failure. Let's do just after. Let's not forget. Good, I have to do more days like this with lots of hours. Then we do progress. Not sure what's happening, man. Is it downloading like crazy or what the heck is going on? Is it using CPU like crazy? Yep. It's using CPU like crazy. Here you go. Oh, just finished. Git diff. There you go. So it changed the package JSON and the package lock in a lot of places. And then we create this lame call to go delete, which doesn't have the URLs yet. So, but let's commit and push this little bit. And let's run and see you again. Should not have anything. Ooh. Why this was not called by npm update save. Well, that didn't work. Ah, oh, no, this is just untracked. I don't know why this now was not got. NCU or npm outdated. Nothing. Per me, nothing. NCU npm update save. Git diff. Oh god, let's do it again. NC, I want to copy the whole thing clean. NCU npm update save. Not git. Okay, git diff. Oh, okay. So let's copy the whole thing and see something doesn't add up. Where is the, where is, huh, I was asking to Claude, isn't it? I was talking to Claude? No, I wasn't. Did I close, I was talking to Compiler about it. Okay. I lost the window and whatever. Let it go. So the only thing I don't understand, okay, let's ESLint.js, let's update this by hand. 931.0. Okay. I don't know why 931.0. I don't know why it doesn't work on its own. npm update. This will change the log file, should change the log file. Don't know why it didn't work, but yep, the log file is changed. Git commit and push. If I run for the last time and see you, it's all clean. Okay, that's a nice work. The real problem is here. I just because I changed dependency and stuff, I just re-executed. I don't expect any changes, but just to be sure that I run with the correct code. So 1.2 megabyte for this. Why is it so big? Even if you combine all my code, it's very small. What dependencies are included? There are some dependencies that should not be included. That's the issue. Because yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what's happening. I probably added a def and a dependency. I forgot to declare it in the build to not be bundled. Eh. And it's something to I can take care later. That's not the problem now. So let's create a task. Put it here. The issue now is different, which is when we try to build, I got that. So now we have the new Gemini. Let's run it. And When running npm deploy in functions, I get, there you go. Dynamic require process is not require process not support. Model is overload. I'm definitely not over my quota. I use 10%. Try again later. Shall we wait a minute or so? Hmm. Let's get some more ice. Okay, let's waste some time and then rerun the query. Get some ice. Okay, that's enough. So let's try to rerun the query. So I copy the original query, I guess. What the heck is gone? I know it's here. But you know what? I can copy. Ah, yeah, I can copy like that. Okay. Up. We just run the same query, see what happens. Cursor up. Now it works. That's a good news. No, it doesn't. Ooh, ooh. More the fucking overloaded. And with this non-answer, I'm using credits, isn't it? Looks like not. At least sometimes it takes request limit per model per minute in a pagina fit here. Okay. 20. But for me, not the problem. The problem is the one per day. Yes, I got 2 more requests just to see overloaded. That counted as a request because the first part kind of worked. When you just read the files. Isn't that executed locally? Or everything, comes from remote? Even the command to read some local files? How the interaction works? Should I just fire it again right now? Fuck. I fire it again. Better luck next time. Please work. What? That's previous deployment. Okay, that's the 2 errors are the API errors. Nothing to do with my code, yeah? It's working now. The error dynamic require process not support is happening because of dependency. Hmm. That's the same as no, no, no. I think that's the wrong fix. Wait a second. Okay, first read again this. The requirement is happening because of dependencies. GPRC, the sub-dependency of Firebase admin is not. Yeah, because he shouldn't even be there. So, okay, so this is and it's also connected to this. That's not my code. I didn't write 1.2 megabyte of backend code. I did not. The reason is this. It's not what AI is saying. Well, it is right what AI say, but the solution is not right. Solution is to exclude those dependencies. So let's go find my build scripts. Just from packages, one step at a time. I got a build script somewhere. Okay. Which is just externalized in build because it's a bit complex. And what I'm gonna say is changing the build sh. Well, it's changing the right script, but not in the right way. But modify the build script. I will add the banner. This banner has most piece of code to no 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 no. I think the correct solution, the best, not the correct, maybe you can do it also in the other way, but the easiest, best and best solution is to instead, if we can fucking find it. Wi-Fi based admin is already external. Then I don't understand. I was so smug about it. When you think you're better than the AI, and then you realize that was not the case. Mm. Right, so let's not prescribe thing, but that just point out thing instead, which is I thought that saying Firebase admin, no, okay, Firebase admin was marked to be an external module. Okay, so the other thing to check is maybe there is some other module that we forgot to mark as external that is pulling in somehow Firebase Army or subdependency of it. So what I wanna look at is in functions package JSON a split left. And let's remove the file view. Okay, went left. I should have said right, maybe. Anyway, what was this build file? I lost it. So I just type build sh. Okay. So I find the dependency section. Let's keep them in the same order. So, you know, AWS, and let's keep them in alphabetical order in both places since we are at it. So AWS first, we ignore the at for the order. Then we got Firebase admin and Firebase functions, and then Google FG. So we just need to add a comma there. The comma there is removed. So out file. Then we got, I know I can put new lines there, but I didn't know to know what's already took care of and whatnot and whatnot. So now we got AWS, the slash that should be the absolutely last character on the line, otherwise it does not work. Then we go admin, Firebase admin, and then we got functions and the secret manager. Yep, and we have to remove the last escape, even though it would work anyway because the next line is blank. So types, no, I don't know. What did I change? Oh my god, this mosquito. Okay. Was marked to be an external module and as such not bundled. Um, Another little concern. Another concern maybe related is that that one, the one that was says 1.2 megabytes. Where did I write it? Here. This index 1.2 megabyte, and since I didn't write 1.2 megabyte of backend code, there is surely some node modules that are being bundled without me knowing about it. Okay, you. Let's see. That's a pretty insightful question. Feels good. Let's see my quota now. Daily quota. How is it going? 15%. Going well, going well. Relax. Thank you, Google. Eh, I don't love Google, but that's pretty generous. You're right to be concerned about the bundle size and the error. The issue is that ESBuild is bundling your dependencies instead of treating them as external. Why is it happening? I mark them as external. This is not only cause the error. Yeah. But also blocks the deployment package. Okay, that's amazing. Also marks your production dependency automatically as external. And that's amazing. But the thing is, I'm already marking them all now. I check them manually. So I'm not sure. Okay, let's go to toilet first. 1 hour and a half. Okay. So yeah, that's true, but I don't understand why, because all of them, all the dependencies which are just checked, they are marked as external. Let's keep on reading. Okay. And we create a new build script named build.mjs. Inside the function scripts directory, this script will use yes build. Ah. Mm. Bundle your code. Yeah. Okay. I was then updated. So these things are indeed connected, but I don't understand why. So there is this build function scripts and build sh. So what does build msjs does? Fucking hell, I don't know. Let's create the build. Maybe understand more by reading this code. Build mjs. Import build from ES build. No idea what that is. And read file string from FS. I know that one. Package. Okay. Read file. Read the file. Read the packages. That's UTF-8. Okay. Put that in a string. That's what it does, right? And then pass the string as a JSON object. So now it's a JSON object. Mm. Right. But then we got exactly the same thing, right? Dependencies. Maybe I got a mismatch. AWS STSS2, Firebase admin, Firebase functions. It's exactly the same thing. That's really weird. Anyway, I understand it's more future proof, more robust. But I don't understand why it should be any different because that's exactly the same list. Maybe it doesn't work transitively. So when I said three doses external, that works, but not for transitive. Maybe that's the issue. Who knows? If you got these dependencies from there, why do you need to add stuff by hand? Then it's not that robust, isn't it? If you need to add stuff by hand. Anyway, we gotta try it before we. Instead of doing all this shit, it's going to cover build AJS, which now looks a lot of different than what I thought it was, because it does call the build function with this external thing. We get everything from packages and then adds a couple of things by hand on top of it. That's what he's doing. He's pushing a couple of stuff by hand on top. I could have done this in here then, or not here, but the builds sh. I could have added the X dependencies there. The thing is, just by looking at, so is that in Firebase admin star, which was already added, is Firebase admin. But by looking at this index.js, how can I figure out what went in that should not have been in? So how can I figure out? I look, and I know many of these things is not my code. For example, all this shit is not my code. I'm sure about it. It looks like, ah, that's the GPRCJS written there. Okay. So that's what is pushed there. Oh, so I keep on looking at the comment node modules. And maybe I find more stuff that I have to add by hand. Aha. I could have done that in Builder Sage. But I see that is a little more robust because at least all the dependencies, the direct dependencies I already got already. Well, we add something more. Oh, see, this is another. Ah, no, it's the same. Oh, there is a lot from that module. Let's scroll down quite a little bit to see if there is anything else that was not taken into account. Yes, so for Protobus JS. So that is not here in exclude. But what I'm gonna do is let's play along with this. See if this shrinks from my initial 1.2 megabytes PWD. We are there functions ls-lh dist index JS. We are on 1.2 megabyte. Are we going to get smaller after we build? Let's check my API usage as well. I'm so concerned. 16%. Okay. Not much, not much. I can work on a little bit more. Um, yeah, checking the size, I can do it myself. Okay, went down. It's quite a bit more to do. It's good, build complete, will deploy work, I don't know. But the problem is, let's reopen this. I think it will always already be reloaded automatically, but just to make sure. So I go back to the beginning. And you know what? Actually, grep will work better. So I go here, pwd, this, grep node modules, no nodules, node underscore modules index.js. Right. So, ooh, what the heck? So, how many of this line we have? We have 116. Can we sort and unique them? And how many lines we have? 115. Okay, right. It looks like. Well, say the bundle is a size smaller, it's still larger than expected. Yeah, there is still a lot. Yeah, that's a very good observation. There are still dependencies being included that should not be included. Find exactly what's in the bundle. One way to do it is what I just did. Grab node modules. And we find quite a bit of stuff. One big one is proto buff. Actually, it's not that much, yeah? Yeah, there is still gRPC, gRPC, and there is some Firebase stuff as well. hmm Not much. But your approach is yes, build meta file feature. This will generate a JSON file describing all the files in the bundle and their sizes. Yeah, that's really nice. So professional. Yeah, look at this meta file which creates in this we create a new output called meta, which tells everything that was being bundled. That's amazing. That's great. That's fantastic. I want that. And how many API requests? It's 16% because it takes some time to update the usage. 19% now. Yeah, there you go. So if I open Meta now, hmm, hard to read, but basically everything that says no module should not be there. We will complete meta file generating now reading the meta file. Okay. Meta file, how big is this? It's big, yeah? 2000 lines. That means expensive request. I received the bundle analysis from MetaJSON. It's too large to view directly. I know, it's very big. Just read the first 300 lines, you will find plenty, and then run it again. I will pinpoint the cursor, like, okay, the script name, analyze bundle. My God. You're going crazy, man. In function scripts, the script will parse meta.json and output a summary of the largest bundle of files. Okay, let's have a look. Meta 0.20, first 20 largest, I guess. Now I will run it basically. Analyze bundle. Yep, fucking run it. Yeah, why not? That's the whole point. It seems my analysis gave an error and printed a non-kilobyte. Yep. Apologies, no changes. That wouldn't work, mate. If you don't do any changes to a buggy script, you will have a buggy script. Guess what? Guess what? Not hard to guess. Allow execution, fucking hell, you got the fucking same problem. There you go. None. You idiot. There you go, got some changes. Just tackle one file, man. It's not that hard. And then add the other ones. I can tell you which files, or we can do it myself. Go one at a time. You don't have to choose all of them, to fix all of them at once. So what happened here? Analyze doesn't even exist. Yeah, revert, man. Going back in circles and using API calls and then finishing the credits. Oh yeah, we work now. Yeah, that's don't know. Let's see if it works. I'm kind of reading, kind of following, but not everything. Analyze bundle. Yep. Would the output none or not? Of work. Okay. Um was shared? No, I don't think it's a good idea. No, 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 no. That's a very bad idea. Allora, let's stop it there. Stop, stop. Shared external doesn't work because it's my code. That should not never be externalized. So did this change which I allowed by mistake. Let's revert it. Okay. So what we need to do is uh, where we are we? Um, what happened? What's happening? Why does it say this? I'm confused. Right, where I am now. Hmm, okay, let's commit this shit. But the untracked file have to be added. I forgot. Okay, let's commit this. Okay, so let's make sure I'm in functions. Let's rename this as backend or just back for short, front and back. And now we do npm run, npm clean. Should remove this, great. And we do npm run build. And yes, we could run it, analyze, but I can analyze it. I can have a look by myself. Um, how did he run MJS before? Doesn't work, isn't it? Let's do just a simple grep node modules. No, set the screen. Node modules. What's that? Dist index. There you go. Uh, I stopped you because shared is my code and should be bundled, no, excluded. By doing a simple grep node modules on this, or we are saying on just the actual command. Let's copy the actual command. By doing a simple quotes, and let's assume we are in the root folder, so let's do function. Close quotes. I get the list of modules being bundled, and I notice the following. Let's just do it one at a time. Firebase up. And now we're gonna do a grep -v, so exclude Firebase app. And now we get the next one, Firebase FireStore. So why is it dot dot? Hold on, hold on. Yeah, it's dot dot in the file. Okay. So the next one would be Firebase FireStore. Let's tell him about it. Let's get a full list of this stuff. Pipe grep -v, Firebase FireStore. And then we go, if we do protobuf, we remove a lot of stuff. And now we can do pipe grep -v protobuf. You know, it didn't work. Yes, because of the L I added. Okay. And here, no L. Okay. No. Why protobuf.js is still there? Ah, because there is another one with the at. Protobuf.js. Let's remove the, oh fuck. Let's remove the comment bit. So basically this. Excellent. So now pipe grep -v that. Ah, now it's very short list. Low dash. Camel case. Let's go on, we are there. Grep -v. GPRC is still there. Wasn't it excluded? Hold on, and that's with the at. Sometimes there's stuff with the at, without the at. Such a fucking mess. Let's open build sage. Is basically just running build MJS with Node, which is saying, where is the external list? JPRC, JS. Or we just exclude it. No, it's not gprc, just at gprc, which is a different package. Okay. Pipe grep hyphen v. We already did that. Yeah, that's great. Long. Yep. So if we remove that, we got what? At Firebase YouTube? gprc is just the namespace. So I should have been more thorough there, but new line, that one. Component. Log. Okay, anyway, channel. And it's not perfect, my output there, but it's a good start. You've hit the nail in the head, which is incorrect. Oh, it's a new function. Ah, wow. Ooh, that's a great catch. Oh, we make a great team. Yeah, in me 2 hours, man. Firebase admin, client code versus server code. Oh my God, I didn't know that. I certainly didn't know that. We hit already this twice today. That's the second time on me. Oh, gonna kill this little insect. You bastard, fucking die. There you go. Okay. What is doing this on another build? I see my dist. Build is smaller. Please tell me that. So, where the hell am I? Dist? No, we know that. Wow, 22 kilobyte. How good is that? We were 1.2 megabytes and now it's 1.2 kilobyte. Yes, 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 yes. So let's go back to um Gemini. Where's Gemini? Oh, okay. The build.js is right in the metaphor, but the build fail, the result object will be undefined. Okay. I didn't really understand this last comment, but on a fucking build, yeah. But now it looks good. It looking good. Yeah, it's good, mate. It's good. It's really small. 22 kilobyte. size 22 kilobytes with a huge improvement from 1.2 megabytes. And what we expect for a project of this size. This issue was indeed incorrect import, pulling the client-side Firebase SDK. Wow. I corrected the import and fixed. How it can even happen? How can it even happen? It's, the advantage of using the same code in the backend and the front end, and the confusion that it creates when you use the same code in the backend and the front end, and everything is fucked up. Should work as expected. We're gonna try that. I'm confident that the original issue is resolved. Remove the temporary analysis bundled MJS file and the meta.json file. Okay, let's do that. And I'm using tokens. I use 46% of my quota already daily. I will remove, so I can't work too much, but today I worked, 6-7 hours. So, and I used 46%, but the problem is until 3 p.m. it doesn't restart. So, yeah, I shouldn't go much more than 50%. So otherwise tomorrow I can't work. It's removing the meta file generation, those stuff. Okay, it's cleaning up. Yeah, there it's written there, removing the meta file generation. Exactly my comment. I didn't read there. I've cleaned the temporary analysis for the file and restored the build script to its final state. The original error is resolved. The bundle size not correct. I'm confident we'll succeed. I'm finished with that. Yeah, but we didn't try that. It's great to be confident. I'm also quite confident, but we didn't try. So until we try, we cannot be sure. So let's try. I'm quite confident too, but I'm not 100% confident. It fails. You're so confident it fails. But it's a linting issue. Uh, Don't even understand why deploy is linting. Shouldn't be that. Ah, let's copy absolutely the whole thing. And you know what? I'm gonna bash npm deploy fails. Fuck, fails. Boom. You idiot. I'm confident it works and I didn't try. What is you? Are you a junior developer? Certainly, yeah. That's what it feels. A senior developer will never be confident about something without trying and testing. Okay. 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 Need to go toilet. So I will also put the right UI for that. Okay, that was quick. So I see going here. Update yes link to not just global. Okay. You my mate. Let's start again. We're still in delete my data. What's going on? So I created this toggle function new and just did a wrong input. And then I opened the Hell's Gate. Oh, no, it's already here. I fixed the build MJS script and the S-link configuration. Now npm deploy should pass the list. You can try. I'm finished. It will work. I'm confident. Yeah, I hope. Oh, fuck. What was that? What? That's not what I wanted to do. npm run deploy. Where did that come from? I like that he outs external modules. I like it a lot. It's looking good so far. We can check the bundle size, still small. Small and nice and manageable. Can't see from here. But yeah, we can see visually. It's only my code. So nice. We don't need to keep that open. We don't need to keep that open. We'll have some changes. Front end, yeah, failed because we had so many changes. Let's go. Let's fix commit. Do that. Do this. Let's go back to backend. Deployment is in progress. Hopefully it works. So this is like progress and yeah, it was connected to the deployment fail. So good. Might be already done. Let's wait. Aha. Yes, deployment work and complete. And we now committed everything. And I don't even know, I was in toggle delete branch, which we didn't get to test much because we had these issues coming up. Oh, the build failed. So yeah, before we go on with anything else, we have to see why the build failed. Oh, I see. That's really simple. npm install. that is out of sync and the log file with the actual packages on this issue. Okay, so let's do that first. Mm. Mm. I understand. So this time it should work. So we can rewind, go back to the original problem. The original problem was I wanted to do a deploy to see the URL printed for the actual toggle function, which is the new function, which I don't see. Where is the toggle function? Ah, it's not there because it's not even in the. I forgot one step, which is, but we want to see this pass, and the thing we will now. But one step I forgot is I created a new function, a new handler. I think I did. I hope I did because that would called toggle delete, and I didn't add that to the index. Yes, so that's why it's not deployed that function. In fact, it's not there. So we have to say export toggle delete from handler toggle delete. So if we run the deploy again, we should have that function available. Boom. And the reason why it doesn't work is that because I have to go in functions folder to run deploy. And I could have a top level deploy. We'll call deploying functions web as needed and skip shared. But for now, that's not my priority. My priority is making progress on the actual functionality, which I am. Mm-mm. That's the toggle delete. Now it's mentioned. Before it was not. Yeah. Why does it come to be the first? It was not the first. Who knows? But we got a new function. So if I go in Firebase admin and I see functions, I should eventually see toggle delete. Toggle delete. We got 8 functions. Toggle delete is not there yet because it's just not finished the deployment. But then when I reload, I should see 9 functions and toggle delete appear. There you go. No, it's still the same stuck. Okay, takes a little bit of time. And again, we want to, since we are at it, in which folder I am, the top folder, okay. And we have this change, let's commit and push. Now it says interested, update, successful update. Okay, there you go. It's going different order. Who knows what it's doing? Maybe it's just as they come. And now toggle delete is here. Now we got a URL. Ah, so that's a very weird stuff. The first time it came to the URL in this other format that I read is the version 1 format. Then if I run the deployment again, it will say they didn't change, they're now going to deploy. So and then if I change something, so I force a redeploy, then it will give you the new URL format. That looks like a bug to me. But you know, it's more of weird stuff that you can laugh about than a real bug. So the typical way to do that is just put an exclamation mark, change something. And typically that's what most people do. Put an exclamation mark or stuff. I've seen other people do that. And now we can run a deploy again. This time we'll give the correct URL. But the only problem is it takes a long time, mate. But the thing is, I have to learn to sit in this chair for longer. And today is not a bad day by any chance because this is the third session. So I got some screen time, some good chair time, productive time. So even though now it's late, almost midnight, I had all these chunks of 2 or 3 hours work. I should learn to compress this a little bit more instead of going late in the night. But it's still better to do the work than not do the work. So we're getting there. The final step is when it says it's done and gives the URLs. So I can go the famous API TS client library and update this URL. And the localhost one is actually straightforward. We can copy that and say toggle delete. That's the front end. The localhost, the local URL. The remote one, well, is something on these uh, lines, and then can just change here, put toggle delete, and it will work. But or I can wait another 20-30 seconds and copy it from there when it will be displayed, which gives me more confidence. So I might rather wait that. Here you go, we are there. Toggle delete successful update, good. Hmm. Excellent. Oh, so where's my toggle delete? There you go. There you have it. And now it's a new URL. That's incredible. That's incredible. What's going on? That's incredible. So go there. Let's have a look. That is good. There is only one little issue with this. that I would like to clarify what's the return type of this thing. Apparently it's nothing, I just send okay. So something to be ignored. Either throw exception or it doesn't. But I think it's a missed opportunity because we can return those values are just calculated without having to request them again. And the function that doesn't do its job is this one. In fact, it's not returning anything at the moment. But should return that, the delete status. That's what's missing. So now if we say that, well, if we delete that, we return an empty one. You know what? Because we've done that twice, we better build a function that does that. Let's change this const equal arrow function. Right, so we want to say as well const x. I have to think about the function name. I have to look. Just put down some syntax. Okay. So yeah, we want to create this. So we want something accept the user ID as a string, and we just return an object. Yeah, it kind of doesn't work. Yeah. Yeah, let's wrap it again and say an explicit return. There you go. So what is this X? This is what it's let's say return please a delete status. No, what did I do? I mean here. Right. So this is like build empty delete status, standard delete status. Okay. I'm not deleting delete status default. Maybe when it's missing, it's a default delete status. That looks good for me. So we build a default delete status. That means when we delete it, that's what we do. And give me the user ID, please. And we're happy. And you know what? For now, if we do that, yeah, to do change me. So there. Okay. And the other one is we build the real delete status, which is basically this. So instead of doing that, why doesn't user create a user ID do that? So instead of from is void, or if we return a delete status. So basically, we return this stuff. All right. So now, if this is a timestamp, that's great. We can just say seconds. No, what's going on? I mean, delete timestamp, seconds, and the schedule's timestamp should be also in a variable now. And now we can use shortcut as well. Let's duplicate it for now. Ah, so then here we use schedule timestamp. We don't need to say as timestamp, it's already a timestamp. You remove the parentheses and seconds and delete it too. Okay, so that's amazing. The only thing is a little improvement. We can use a shortcut notation here for creating this object. Okay, nice. So now we improved that where this returns a delete status. So we're gonna say const delete status equal whatever, and now we can send delete status.json. I think that doesn't work. JSON stringify delete status. Yeah, there's a stringify delete status. Alright. So the thing is now this guy is typed. The toggle delete can't be typed on its own. It's different because they exit down as text. Now the JSON should work. The only thing that we have to see, what does it do, JSON? Any is a promise of type delete status. Basically, that's the thing. Now, the only missing step, we have this function. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. We don't know until we try. But this function should be called from the front end when someone hits on the button to delete data or even the button to cancel data. So I think we'll have to go on tomorrow. That is kind of done. This is correct. This is done. Call functions to toggle deleting status from the front. And that's what it needs to be done. This is kind of done. We have to review it because we didn't try yet. Well, very good sessions today. Let's stop it here and go on tomorrow. Bye.